Good day to all of you. I actually didn't want to make a responding video to the topic Lynx opened up, but I think there's a certain point most people are missing out that takes place in a fair distance to the actual Final Fantasy XIV community. For those of you who haven't seen the original, check out Lynx Kameli's video, especially the highly electrified comments section. So what is this story all about? About extremes on each side of the scale and how you create controversy. That means the feedback and reactions to the original video from Lynx don't have much to do with the Final Fantasy community itself, but more with the meta level Lynx created along his YouTube career, which I don't want to harm in any way, but I feel obliged to point that out to avoid misconceptions about the community as a whole. As soon as you reveal tendency for one or the other extreme, the feedback you receive will be much more intense, powerful, and in bigger numbers than normally when taking on a balanced opinion that also tends to weigh for one or the other side in certain aspects. So when someone clearly opens a video or topic with "I'm a hardcore gamer, rank 1 player", this alone will cause reactions, no matter what content may follow. And if you're lashing out those waves, they can easily lash back at you. And this will turn your pool of comfortable conversation into a stormy sea of controversy. Sympathizers will love you for being honest and on one side of the river, while others will get mad for being on the other side of it. The result, controversy. So Lynx's video is just the pinnacle of the iceberg, not reflecting the vocal majority of the whole community at all. That means, if you would go to talk to people on forums or comments in other creators' comments section about a certain problem you have with Final Fantasy, there would be more agreement and fruitful conversation on both sides of the scale than ever constituted in these extreme videos like, is the Final Fantasy community so toxic or so nice? But the true problem comes from generalizing. I met hundreds of noble people over my 15 years in WoW, as well as meeting the same amount of assholes in both games. But that could be completely different for another person. The only thing that differs is how loud you can scream about it. I just rejoined Battle for Azeroth 2 months ago to play some PvP while doing the casual content in 14. And when joining a raid finder group to kill the final boss of the expansion, I stumbled over a dude that explained the whole boss strategy for all roles, for all groups, and with taking the time to try again when we wiped. And we wiped many times. So stop generalizing. We all share the same world with good and bad people, and they are equally found in all corners of it. Everything else depends way more on subjectivity and the reputation a game has evolved over years. And WoW just has an insane lead in destroying its credit, where the developer team didn't help to brighten this image. So what does this have to do with Asmongold? It's because the reputation of our friendly community is indicating to turn into a cult to other people's perspectives, which Asmongold's reaction and acceptance of his viewers turned into a reality. And this is definitely something we should set right. We're not blindly following on the pace of the developer team, and not of all their decisions and ideas. Far from it. If you really love a game, you need to be critical about it, like Asmongold said many times. That also means talking about things you're not satisfied with. And this is actually more helpful to the game than remaining silent or even attacking people with fair criticism. And while I think the majority of players do exactly that by sharing valuable ideas and improvements with others and especially the developers, there are indeed extremes called forth by videos like the one from Lynx, and he's not right about the community as a whole, but certainly about some idiots within its borders. Be passionate about the game you like the most, but always consider that it's still a game. Developers are still human beings that want to make a living out of it, even when being more reactive and community focused than others. They still want to make profit, and your life won't end from the fact of knowing it. As well as it won't end when others state different approaches on how to enjoy the game or what they consider as a meaningful change to the job you like, or even when stupid creators like me make tier lists. These are just statements and opinions, especially when coming from content creators. Take it with a grain of salt. Accept that there are different opinions on how to enjoy the game's content, and don't let yourself be triggered by claims that highlight a certain style of playing it. As long as you enjoy it in the way you like, while not ruining other people's experience, you are good to go. And remember, it is still a team player game, and if you don't weave a finger to participate in the group's success, you're not a loyal defender of true casualism, who doesn't need to care about others cause they don't pay your sub. You're simply a lazy dick with weird self-awareness and attitude. But of course, the same applies to the other end, expecting your whole group to play focused and with a speedrun mentality all the time, while they want to take it slowly, enjoy their rotations, or play the dungeons with a job they never did. You should be the one to adjust the pace to them and be helpful instead. If you accept to take up the random group adventure, stick to its rules and to the fact that there are other players around with a whole different playstyle perspective. TLDR, avoid extremes, help where you can, give the best you have and don't force others to play and enjoy the game in the way you do. Instead, try to motivate them for your style and why you love the game in that way. If you guys think that Lynx is just missing one of the best stories of the MMO sector, tell him why and motivate him to watch it on stream, so that he may share his experience and reactions from a whole new perspective. Let us share the love for Final Fantasy with others instead of harming their own experience on the game or other games. I still think this can become the best community an online game has ever faced. And who knows? Maybe someone is able to persuade Asmongold to join us, or at least give this game a chance to dismantle the misconceptions he has about it. So I hope you all are fine, healthy and keep helping others in the real world as well, and if that is secured, enjoy your well-deserved free time with the games you love. For we who walk before may lead those who walk after. Stick around for all kinds of 5.3 content and info, and see you around in one or the other livestream. Best regards, thanks to all of you and keep loving Final Fantasy.